This is the Barbados Today morning news for Monday, December 9. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Prime Minister Mia Mottley says it is time that Caribbean and African people get to know each other. Ms. Mottley was addressing the political and business leaders of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group at a high-level business forum on the weekend. She was speaking on the second full day of an official visit to Kenya ahead of the official opening of the ACP summit in Nairobi.
Knowing about each other means that we are likely to continue our habits to trade north. Knowing each other means that we are likely to take down the walls and to begin to understand the values and the challenges that confront each of us, and by extension, to see the entrepreneurial opportunities that may be available to build prosperity among our people. And it can't just simply be about providing jobs. It has to be also about economic enfranchisement, creating a basis for ownership among our people, because that is the only way it is going to be sustainable.
Mottley also told delegates of the goals of the CARICOM single market and economy, but she suggested that it has not been as successful as it could be.
That has been constrained not as a result of the ability of governments to set the legal constructs, but effectively because we've not been able to produce enough, quick enough, in a way that allows growth to come more seamlessly to us. And when you start to examine the reasons, what is the oxygen that's needed? You need people, you need access to finance, you need access to training.
In other news, Youth Minister Adrian Ford says government is looking to increase the number of opportunities for the development of young people through the development of the Barbados Youth Advanced Corps. Ford was addressing the graduation of the last cohort of the Barbados Youth Service on the weekend. He says the aim is to keep young people engaged.
It is our quest to have 1,000 young persons in the first year, another 1,000 in the second year, 2,000 young people to be engaged in all the programs that Ali alluded to. Out of the 7 young people who are listless in this country, disengaged, who are like a voice in the wilderness. Prime Minister also said that we will have something called a Job Start Plus, a program being championed by none other than Minister Colin Jordan. There is the Prince Trust Initiative, along with the Ministry of Education, which will seek to engage another 1,000 young persons. The CCADEX, another 1,000 young persons. We are trying to put the net out so we can catch as much young people and engage them as possible.
Meanwhile, Director of the Barbados Youth Service, Hallie Haynes, hailed the achievements of the graduating class.
During the period January to April 2019, graduates participated in the Skills Development Training Program, which was held at a number of venues. The Arts and Craft Program, the CHC and functional programs, as well as dance and drama classes, were conducted at our headquarters at number 33 Warren Industrial Park, St. Michael. The Life Skills Program was conducted at the Barbados Coast Guard at NDS Pelican Base, St. Michael. The sports program were conducted at the Netball Stadium, Simpson Motors playing field, at the BYS headquarters. I am pleased to report that the trainees completed yet another successful year within the Barbados Youth Service Life Skills Program, which was coordinated by the Barbados Defence Force.
Police are investigating the unnatural death of Shamar Bascom of Hannes Valley, Windsor, Christchurch. Lawmen say he was found at his home hanging from a rafter in a bedroom. According to police, an individual who has not yet been identified reported the matter at the Boarded Hall police station yesterday morning. Government has granted an extension to the deadline for the ban on single-use petro-based plastic bags from January 1, 2020. It will now take effect on April 1st. Minister of Maritime Affairs Kirk Humphrey made the announcement on the weekend at the awards dinner of Ocean Fisheries, but he stressed that government did not renege on its promise but the extension will give manufacturers more time to switch to a more sustainable product. Earlier this year, government enforced a ban on all petro-based single-use plastic containers. Anyone caught using these products could be prosecuted. In sports, West Indies beat India by 8 wickets in the second 2020 international of the 3-match series at Greenfield International Stadium in India on Sunday. Lendl Simmons led the way with a sensational batting display to record his 6th half-century and second to level the 3-match series 1-1. Simmons put on crucial partnerships, including a 73-run opening stand with Evan Lewis, who made 40 as the West Indies chased down their target of 171 with 9 balls to spare.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has given a commitment to address the issue of electoral reform within his new cabinet's first 100 days in office. Skerrit was sworn in on Saturday after the Dominica Labour Party won its 5th consecutive term in office. The cabinet will be sworn in on December 17. The issue of electoral reform was one of the most hotly debated topics on the campaign trail, with the opposition pressing for reforms before the polls.
Recognizing that there are differences of opinion as to how the process should go forward, it is my intention, as indicated, to invite Caribbean jurists to chair a commission. And our intention is to also invite other partners in the hemisphere to assist us in carrying the process forward. And there'll be both private and public hearings, and those who want to share their views will have an opportunity to share their views. And that coming out of these consultations overseen by this commission and chaired by these juries, we can agree on what the legislation should entail to usher in electoral reform.
On the international scene, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he's nervous about his narrowing lead in the opinion polls ahead of Thursday's election. But he promised to deliver a transformative Brexit that will allow for lower migration. We get the details in this Reuters report.
4 opinion polls published on Saturday put Johnson's ruling Conservatives between 8 and 15 points ahead of the opposition Labour Party. And while that puts Johnson in pole position, it shows a narrowing of his lead and means he's not far enough ahead to guarantee a win. Polls have also proved unreliable in recent history.
This means that the UK has voted to leave the European Union.
Failing to predict the outcome of the 2016 Brexit referendum or previous Prime Minister Theresa May's loss of her majority in 2017. No major poll predicts a win for opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn, but he could yet lead a minority government given that few other parties are likely to prop up Johnson's Conservatives. On Friday, Corbyn revealed a leaked government document that he said shows that Johnson's divorce deal with the European Union would lead to customs declarations and security checks between Britain and Northern Ireland.
This document is talking about checks both ways.
And that's wrong, because there won't be checks.
So you're saying that this is wrong, the government's own impact assessment is wrong, your Brexit secretary is wrong, all these people are wrong, And you were right.
Yes, because there's no question of there being checks on goods going NIGB or GBNI.
Johnson, who has faced questions over whether or not he can be trusted,
people go on and on about trust,
has repeatedly said his deal would create no barriers between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.